All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group, and today is going to be our last webinar of the year. And so it's a great time of year to do a little bit of reflection, first of all, on what went right, what you did right, and what you did wrong over the last year. And it's also a really good idea to create a plan for 2023, look ahead, and make some adjustments to your business plan. So this is a really good exercise we like to do every year, and you guys should definitely take this information and create your business plan. It's just a really, really important step in treating your real estate business like a business, not just like some job. This is your business. This is not just you're not just an employee, right? You are a self-driven entrepreneur, right? That's what everybody on this line is. So before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring Bill Seitz, our corporate broker, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, everybody with Alta Realty Group. I'm doing good.
All right. Awesome. And so we, a week and a half ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, we had our holiday party. And so Bill, tell us a little bit about the holiday party. I was not able to attend since I was sick and my wife was sick, but I heard we had a pretty good time.
Yeah, actually, it was last Tuesday, so it was about 8 days ago. On the 13th, we had a real nice gathering down here in Newport Beach on the peninsula at the Lighthouse, it's called, and it was a really nice gathering with a bunch of agents that, obviously, for some, logistically, it was maybe a little bit harder than others to get down here, but nonetheless, we wanted to invite a bunch of agents, if they could make it, to come and, celebrate 2022 and get in the holiday mode. And so there's just some highlight some pictures of everybody who was able to make it, and some of our Abidon, our CFO, and his wife Lucia, and my wife Jackie, and myself, and Don Kearney and Tim Manno there, the top picture, and Debbie from Clearview Mortgage was able to make it out, and a lot of our agents that are within reasonable driving distance were able to make it. So we just had a great time, and we hope that in future years that we'll be able to, I don't know, maybe we'll be able to change the venues, mix it up a little bit, or, since we are a state regional office and we have agents from all over the Bay Area through, the Palm Springs, San Diego, Orange County, LA County, maybe, I don't know, Kevin, something to brainstorm. Maybe we can mix it up and do something maybe up your way. But nonetheless, we did really enjoy meeting a lot of you that we hadn't perhaps met at one of our luncheons or hadn't met in person yet, as we are a hybrid company. We don't have this huge office space. We don't all run to the office every day and see each other. It is nice to have these little events and have these times where we can get together and connect and do that stuff. So there's another one, Tim, and so anyways, that was a great time. And yeah,
and you're absolutely right. So, our brokerage being statewide and being, quasi virtual, it is really, really important to occasionally get together and make sure that we are actually people. We're not just robots, right?
Yep. No, 100%. And this business is all about, as much as we do with technology, and much as we preach technology, and Kevin, with your marketing and being efficient, there's always going to be that human element. Tim talks about that a lot. The human element is probably one of the biggest factors in this business. And so we do have to remember that, and not only with our clients, but with each other here in the office space and as a company. So
for sure. And so I do see, we did hear a few agents didn't get the invite for the Christmas party. And so we just want to make sure that everybody, of course, everybody on the call today should be getting our emails, because you received the invite to the webinar. So if for some reason you're not receiving those really important intra-office communications, it's really important that you contact me and we work that out. We use a system called MailChimp. And so, we're always sending out important items of business. And so being part of Alta Realty Group, you do have to be on that email chain. And so, Alexis, if you didn't get our Wednesday webinar invite, then you definitely wouldn't have got our Christmas party invite. So it's all part of the same system. So, and occasionally you do have to check your spam folder. Most of the time, if you're receiving our emails, they're not going to go into spam, but it's not a bad idea to just check that spam folder once a week, which is what I do. Actually a few times a week in my case. So it's, just important that you're all getting those communications. And so you would have received that invite with the same system. So anybody that didn't get that, you can certainly contact us. We'd love to work that out. In fact, as part of Alta Realty Group, it is required that you receive those emails just in case there's stuff that that is important that you receive. So contact me directly if you have further questions.
And I think
Yeah,
too, Kevin, it's now that we've got the Alta app that's being launched or rolled out now, in this coming year, we'll have a much more also, another avenue or channel to send out communications. So we won't be so heavily reliant on email. So, and it happens to all of us. Some of the stuff does some way find itself into the, the junk folder or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll be able to, communicate through the app really well as well, company wide.
For sure. And it doesn't look like we have Cameron on the line with us today, Bill. Is there anything you want to bring us up to speed with Clearview Mortgage and with what's going on out Mortgage Land?
We're going to give Cameron a hall pass because his wife is potentially could be having her baby right now. I don't know.
I think you're probably right, buddy.
So we're gonna let him off the hook today. His wife is due literally any day now. I talked to him yesterday, but he was telling me, yep, he thinks it's gonna be any moment. So he may be at the hospital. If he is, we'll wish him the best with his wife and delivery of their son. That's right. Could be a Christmas baby, huh? That's what I told him. I said, hey, you could have a Christmas, New Year's, could be a New Year's baby, a couple quick things. If we look at the 10-year, I just kind of was pulling up the financials this morning and just taking a peek at it, knowing that Cameron might not be on. We've kind of, the last month or so, we've taken a pullback. And then since then, it's kind of come back up to, about this time or about November 18th. So we had a nice little pullback early December. We've kind of crept back up here to 3.68, but we're still off the high of, the 10-year being at 4.2 back in mid-October. So we're still about 50 basis points or more below the high point back in October. So that's encouraging. Rates are they're manageable right now. They're, still tough out there, but I think with some of the buy down programs we've mentioned, some of the flexible options that are available, there are solutions to your financing needs 100%. So if you are unclear about what options are available, I am noticing that a lot of the listing agents are putting into their agent remarks, seller willing to participate in a buy down program or concession to help with buyers' closing costs. I'm just telling you right now, if you're not doing that and you have a listing, you're not helping your cause, because even that little, even though you're not committing yourself to or your seller to an actual dollar amount, it's a lure for people saying, okay, I've got somebody who's willing to be flexible in terms or negotiating a deal. So I really encourage you guys to, if you don't know what the right language should be, you don't want to commit yourself, you don't really know how to write it, just let me know. I can kind of guide you through that. But it's a very, very helpful way to get interest or, get movement on your listings. Other than that, Kevin, I want to just touch real quick. We had the 2023 conforming loan limits get announced a couple weeks ago. I don't think Cameron went through these probably, but I just wanted to. He actually did. Oh, he did? Okay, cool. Yeah. So just real quick to summarize, the highest, counties high cost of living counties like Alameda County, Contra Costa County, LA, Orange County. Obviously, they've gone to just under 1.1 million, to 1,089,200. And that's up from last year at 970,800. So, almost $100,000. It's gone up in the high cost of living counties and fairly significantly through the other counties as well. So that should help people keeping their loans conventional and not having to go into maybe the jumbo world or whatever. So that's good news there. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for the update there for out in mortgage land. Super important that we're able to communicate that stuff to our clients. And I'm glad you mentioned the buy down program, because that is helping a lot of situations. So really, really important stuff. If you have questions, contact Bill or Debbie or Cameron or anybody from the Clearview team. All right, great. And so I'm going to get into our presentation. We're also going to have Andrew Leone from Solar Reps join us at the end of my presentation, and he's going to bring us up to speed with what's going on with that incredible program that a lot of agents are taking advantage of. So we'll get him on the line. So without further ado, we're going to get into our presentation today. And it looks like this time of year is really the time where we get to start thinking about not only what we've done over the last year, over the last couple of years, but also changes to our plan, changes to our marketing, changes to even ways that we're approaching things in some cases. If what you were doing in 2022 isn't quite working, well, this is the great time to change things up. And so when we're talking about creating our business plan and creating our marketing plan, we do always want to look at things in terms of 6 months to a year. We don't want to try things flash in the pan kind of stuff and try something for a month and expect something to work. So that's the wrong way to approach your business. The correct way to approach your business is to make very, very informed decisions on what you're going to do, and then stick to your guns and dig yourself a little hole in a little foxhole and stay right there and just execute your plan for at least 6 months. You want to make sure that this stuff you get some traction, especially when we're talking about marketing. Marketing in real estate, there is no such thing as a flash in the pan. There is no such thing as a quick fix. This is all long-term strategies that you need to develop in order for things to start to take place. So very first thing that everybody should do every year is, if you haven't created your vision statement, it's really important to create that. And what a vision statement does is it gives your business a clear goal and a clear path, a clear statement of what you're trying to accomplish. And it's not just business goals too. This is also, part of your vision is maybe you are somebody that works with charities and you really want to make an impact in your local community. Well, that could be part of your vision statement. And, so creating that vision is, and a vision statement is slightly different than a mission statement. So a vision statement is a little more, I would say, philosophical. Right. And so what is your vision? And, what does your business look like to you in the future? Right. What is your overall, what do you want to accomplish as a business person? It's not just these, monetary goals. Right. And so a mission statement that really defines the company's business and its objectives. And, so it's a little bit more of a action-ish statement. So the vision statement describes the desires of the future position of the company. Elements of a mission statement and vision statement sometimes are kind of combined, but the mission statement is a little bit more goal-oriented, okay? So both of those things are really good to brainstorm, come up with, and make sure that you understand what your overall vision is for your business. Number 2 is always identify your target customer. So whether you're selling manufactured homes or multi-million-dollar homes, those are two different people and two different types of people that you would be selling to. So you really want to identify who your target customer is. Who do you normally work with? Who do you want to work with, right? Your target customer could be people that, maybe you work with, or, in a charity, or maybe you, work with these people on a different basis, right? You see them on the soccer field with your kids, you see them on the baseball field. So you need to, identify who exactly are you looking to work with. And as part of that, this is this little segment, you don't need to work with everybody. You're going to find some people that are unpleasant. And to a certain point, of course, you got to suck it up. But if somebody is really, really unpleasant and is not, the kind of person that you want to work with, it's okay to fire a client. And you'll find that if you do that kind of thing consistently, you're going to waste less time. So we've all wasted tons of time in this business working with people that we probably shouldn't have. And, when you're starting out, of course, you're going to try to work with everybody, but having that idea of who you want to work with, and if somebody really doesn't fit that mold, then it's not a bad idea to say, you know what, we're probably not a good fit, and let me refer you to a different agent. That way, you're not spinning your wheels. Certain people are the way that they are, and they're just going to cause problems. So that's something to think about for sure. So number 3 is develop goals. This is huge. Everybody on this call should be setting your goals for your marketing initiatives. You want to summarize exactly what strategies that you're going to use to accomplish the goals. And so in our Agent Resource Center, you can go and you can print out the ARG Agent Blueprint for Success, and that goes into a little bit more into those goals, basically working backwards. How many deals, or how much money do I want to make this year? How many deals does that equate to? How many phone calls does that mean? How many touches to my people in my sphere of influence does that going to take? So working that backwards is a really, really good way to get your head in order and make sure that your eyes are on the prize. You have a clearly set goal. It's written down. You know exactly what you're going to do to get there. You're going to make this many phone calls. You're going to make that many touches. You're going to spend X amount on, different marketing pieces, right? Having those clear goals is a really important starting point for everybody in this business. We've all heard the adage, if your ship doesn't have a rudder, you can't get anywhere, right? So that rudder is the goals. The goals are that rudder. So you can make sure that you're aiming for your goals. If your ship doesn't have a rudder, you don't have goals, and you can't get to where you're going to go. You're just letting the wind blow you wherever it wants to. So that's not a way to look at your real estate business. You have to take control. So number 4 is determine your unique selling proposition. So every one of you has something unique about you that is unlike anybody else. And you need to find out what that is, develop that, and you want to make sure that that is part of your unique selling proposition. What can you offer that others can't, right? How does your unique approach or personality create value for your prospects? What are the latest pricing, selling, buying trends in your market? Tim and I talk about that all the time. Go down to the planning office in your city. Go down to the county and talk to the county planners. Talk to the people that are involved. See what's going on. What are the plans for the future in your area? Making sure that you're studying those numbers. You're studying the sales numbers. A lot of our agents do a really good job of understanding exactly how many listings are in their area at any given time. They could tell you what it was last year. So knowing those individual specs in your market, that helps determine your unique selling proposition, right? Because we always want to be the expert. Talking to Cameron, talking to Bill and Debbie at Clearview Mortgage, finding out what new programs are out there, finding out what's working. All those things combine to help you create your unique selling proposition as a realtor. So do not discount that. Your unique selling proposition is ultimately why someone would choose you over somebody else. And it could be your personality, it could be your tenacity, it could be your ability to get deals done and to, get to the finish line, right? So those are your unique selling propositions. Super important. 5, determine the tools and budget for each strategy. Okay, so you're going to decide what exactly you're going to be doing this year with respect to marketing, and how much money you're going to put into each, how much time and effort, what is it going to take. So finding or discovering your specific tools and budget for these strategies is very, very important. And then number 6 is measure the performance. So again, at the end of the year, this is a great time, or quarterly is more important, more effective. But having to measure your performance once you've implemented these tools and these strategies, that's paramount, because you're going to go back and look, okay, I spent this amount of dollars, I got this many leads, I talked to that many people, what happened, right? And what was the most effective thing that you did, right? So measuring that performance and, understanding, how long you did this for, okay, so in this example, the campaign was, I did an Instagram post promotion. I, let it go for 3 weeks. I got this many impressions. I got that many engagements, right? So understanding what the metrics are really important in order for you to make good decisions on how you're going to go forward. So if that didn't work the way you wanted, well, maybe you need to add a little bit of budget. Maybe you need to do different follow-up techniques for those Instagram posts. And maybe part of your strategy is to call 20 people on your list and to make sure that they saw that, and just to use your Instagram post as a talking point. Or obviously, a lot of times we put every month we put out our content in our blog content and our newsletter content for you guys to post and then use as a reference. So all of those things are super, super important. This is a fun stat. So we know 78% of all real estate transactions come through repeat and referral business. However, 76% of home sellers abandon their previous agent and work with somebody else. So that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. So part of everybody's strategy this year needs to be keeping in contact with people that they sold to in the past. And even if you sold, especially if you sold them a home in the last year or 2 years, you need to continually be in contact with that person at a minimum once a month, sending them a monthly newsletter, and or picking up the phone once a quarter and finding out what's going on with that person. Also, a great idea is to send quarterly gifts and little promotions to people that you sold to in the last 3 to 5 years. And that is a great strategy. So you put that in your budget. All right, I'm going to send these whatever $5 Starbucks card once a quarter. I want you guys to get a little bit more creative than that, but at a minimum, just do that, and making sure that you are in contact with that person that you sold to. The worst thing ever is to find out that somebody that you sold a home to or did a transaction with used another realtor. That's a fail. That means that you didn't do your job. So your job as a realtor does not end when the transaction ends. Your job is just beginning there. So if you want repeat business, you have to constantly be, and I don't mean bugging people, I mean just being top of mind. And so being top of mind really comes down to communications and what we call touches. So super important. Brand building, well, that's massive. Everybody on this call needs to build their own brand. And that doesn't mean the Alta Realty Group brand. The Alta Realty Group brand it's an overall brand. It's very clean. We have nice logos. We have nice marketing materials, but your brand is taking the Alta brand. And what is your spin on that? What is your take on the Alta brand? Because everybody is their own business, right? So building your brand is an important step in making sure that you are, again, creating a unique selling proposition, right? Your brand and your unique selling proposition is why somebody would go with you and not another realtor. Okay, so is it time to throw away the SWOT analysis and SMART goals? Heck no, it's time to double down. So, every year do a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis, of course, is measuring your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And so constantly looking at those and reevaluating your SWOT analysis is a really important thing, because you might find out things that you are weak in. You might find new opportunities. There's always new opportunities that pop up based on things that are happening, right? And threats threats pop up, go away, different threats happen. So you have to constantly do some SWOT analysis. And again, I think on a quarterly basis is best, but at least once a year. So another thing that's a really good idea is to plan and live for sustainable growth. What does that mean? That means reprioritizing customer retention and referral strategies, right? So we're not just hoping to get, another deal out of somebody that we did business with. We also need to make sure that we are asking those people for referrals constantly. And I mean, again, once a month. As part of your monthly newsletter, you should always put in something. I appreciate your referrals. I have a referral program. Anybody that's been with our company for a year or two knows that I love referral contests and giveaways, right? And so you can let people know that you have a referral giveaway contest, and every quarter or every 6 months you give away a special, prize to people that refer you business. So that is HIPAA compliant, or it is RESPA compliant. So you don't have to worry about that, because you're not actually, rewarding somebody for an individual thing. You're putting their name in a hat, and you're doing a drawing. So it's a great way to drum up business. Make sure that you're constantly asking your people for referrals, and it works. So if you haven't tried that technique, you need to start today. And the gifts that you can give can be seasonal. I always use the example in the summer, or in May. Offer a nice new gas grill, or something that's conducive to that particular season. And so you start to really train your sphere of influence when you are letting them know that you always do this referral giveaway, right? So really easy thing to do, and it's fun. And then I'll of course include all this for you guys, but most important is down here is the marketing strategy. So the one strategy that I always recommend is to publish useful real estate information. And what I mean by that is take our blogs, take our content that we use, or that we put out every month, and post it into all different kinds of places. Put it on your blog, put it in your monthly newsletter, put it in your social media. You can put this all over the place, right? So step 2 is to then make sure everybody gets that information. Send the info to people make a direct email. Most of these people should be on your in your CRM, and you should be sending them a monthly newsletter, and so that should be automatic. But take the step, the next step further, and also do actual contacts, either phone, text, a separate email, something that is specific to that person, and really give them the attention. Okay. So step 3, and the rest of these are fairly optional, but if you do all the rest of these things, you're really going to be ahead of the curve. create a 1-minute video about what that is, what that particular content piece is about. Hey, this is, this article is going to be about, the 5, best ways to, get your house ready to sell, or the 7 ways to maximize your home's value, whatever it happens to be. You can do a quick 1-minute video. Millions of different ways to do it. You can literally just use your iPhone or your Android and, create a quick video. It doesn't have to be a minute. It could be 30 seconds, right? The point is, though, there's that content that you're putting out, and you're reminding people that, hey, not only are you there, but you are a professional. You're putting out this kind of content. You're making sure that people understand that you have really good information to share, right? So put that thing on social media, post that video on social media, post a link to your blog, make sure that people understand it. And then 5 is, of course, call people directly, right? And that personal outreach is the thing that's kind of the coup de grace, right? So if you can make those individual personal connections, that's what ties this all together, right? So like I said, I will put this out in the replay and make sure everybody has this. I'm also going to put out a few other things that will give you a step-by-step understanding of exactly what to do. And I'll just share this real quick with you guys. So here's a little checklist. So everybody will have access to this checklist. Kind of goes through the exact same thing that I just went through, but it gives you a good step-by-step. This is what you're going to do. And if you employ this strategy and do this every single month, first of all, just doing this doesn't cost you any money at all. This is just a little bit of time and effort. And especially if you're working on a low budget, this is an absolute must for every single person, because from here, you can take some of this bits of information and you can now put some budget to it. Do some boosted Facebook posts, do some boosted Instagram posts. You can, add budget to these items, okay? But this is a lot of meat to put out there and to get done. So really, really important stuff, guys. Let me just see if there's any questions in the chat. We have an anonymous attendee wondering how we can download the app. Well, on the replay that I send out, I will include the link both to the Android store and the Apple store. So not a problem. I will make sure that you have those. And Alicia Moncada asks, are you able to assist with creating flyers? Of course. We use Canva. And so you can go into the Agent Resource Center, click on the Canva link and get your Canva account. And that way you have access to all of the templates that Courtney in the marketing department puts out. And so, yes, creating flyers is very easy. So Alicia, you're welcome to contact me directly and I can direct you on how you can do that. And let's see if I have any more questions. Alexis, is it possible to download the PDFs? Of course. So I will include these and you can download these PDFs and you can have the access to these. And Albert says, always have a backup plan or a plan B. Absolutely, Albert. Good call. All right, great. Well, that is the meat of our presentation today. But now I want to bring on Andrew Leon from Solar Reps. Let me see if I can promote you to panelist, Andrew. And I will allow you to talk. Good morning, Andrew. How are you? And when you are promoted to panelist, you do need to unmute yourself. So you should be able to talk now, Andrew.
Okay, can you hear me, Kevin?
I can. Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Kevin. Good morning, agents.
Yes.
Kevin, I have got some breaking news from the solar world today.
Yay, I thought you would. So lay it on us.
Okay, so guys, get ready for this. There's been a bombshell which has just been dropped in the world of solar. Okay, there has been an announcement. It's actually very good for the agents for the immediate future. I mean, this is now. There's been an announcement from the Public Utilities Commission, and they're going to be adjusting their net metering. So in layman's terms, what that means is they're going to be changing the way they credit your electric bill for solar power. So let me explain this a little more. Let me get to a screen share here.
Yeah, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, let me explain this a little more. So let's say now you have solar panels. Let's say it's a bright sunny day, the sunlight's shining on the panels, the energy's coming through, but you're not home. You're not using the energy at that exact moment. What's going to happen to the power? The power passes through, it goes into the grid, and you can draw the power out later. That's how solar works. Okay, so what they're saying now is that they're going to give you some of the power back, but not all of the power back. This is a blatant money grab from the California Public Utilities Commission, and it's in all the headlines now. They're calling this net metering 3.0. Net metering 3.0 is very bad for homeowners. And within a few months, the way we do it now is called NEM 2.0. And this, they're saying, will no longer be in existence. So here's the good news from this. Everyone who was on the fence about solar previously is now just diving into this. And I'm telling you guys, it's the easiest close I've ever seen. I mean, I'm going to give you a quick example. A shout out to Rhonda. She referred a client. I'm going to use her as an example here. She referred a client in the Bay Area about 2 weeks ago. Very tough customer. You know, they were on the fence. We've all dealt with a customer like this that they're hot and cold. You know, they go dark. They don't talk to you a little while. There's a few decision makers. So I was kind of dealing with that. So when this news hit, you know, Monday, I texted her and I simply said, Google NEM 3.0. They responded within 2 minutes and said, send the paperwork, we're signing up. And bingo, Rhonda just picked up $2,500 on that. And these are pouring in right now. So I want to stress to you guys now, in addition to the 4-sentence script, you know, which we all know, some version of, hey, by the way, do you want to lower the energy cost on this house? I'm asking because you've qualified for the Solar Savers program. It's a free solar system install. It's a new program at Alta for a free energy analysis. What day and time would you like a rep to contact you? So in addition to that, I would definitely throw this out there right now. Say, hey, you need to get grandfathered in with NEM 2.0 now while you still can. This is now a terrific reason, you guys, to get in front of your old clients. You know, if the market's a little tough now and, you know, it's challenging to buy and sell, they definitely are going to want to increase their home value by getting their solar metering grandfathered in. And keep in mind, in the future, it looks like this is going to become a terrific selling points for you agents, where you will be able to advertise the home and say, hey, guess what? This home is grandfathered in with NEM 2.0. The house comes with cheap power that is now unavailable to the public. So they're establishing some scarcity here. And this will increase, this will increase their home value big time.
Now
so I'll say this, in the history of solar power, it's never been easier to sell this thing than it is right now. So I would just really encourage you guys, you know, keeping with the presentation we just watched, get in front of all your old clients in the next month or so. You can grab some really easy money. And the thing is, you'll be doing your clients a huge favor. You know, I'm going to give you another example. Ann referred someone yesterday. You know, she did the 3-way text. I'm going to put up Charles' template here, which works very well. She did her job. She 3-way texted me in with the client. They didn't respond right away. And I called them. I waited a couple of days. I called them back yesterday, and they said, well, you know, they might not be interested in solar. It took me a few sentences to let them know about NEM 3.0. And then they realized, look, they're about to miss the boat. In their case, it's a big home. It'll be like $15,000 a year in savings they were going to miss out on. They sent me their bill. Now that deal is in progress. So this is just the easiest thing that I've dealt with, really. So I'll say this, referring people to go solar at this time, at this exact time, will really increase your brand that we just talked about here. And that's as a go-to person in real estate. You know exactly what's going on. I would take advantage of this recent legislation that just passed. And you guys have the inside track for this with the Solar Savers program. And that's what I got.
Hey, Andrew, this is Bill. I have a quick question for you.
Yep.
How long how do they have to be grandfathered into this?
So they're saying it's April 21st is the cutoff date.
Okay.
Now, we all know in California how things generally, let's just look at the big picture for a second. We know in California how things work. They kind of announce something, they walk it back a little bit. You know, there's some workarounds that emerge. We're fully expecting all that is going to happen. But, you know, right now, the iron is really, really hot. And I've never seen anything like it. So anyone you mention this to, and you can just simply tell them, guys, you don't have to explain all this. Say, hey, Google NEM 3.0, and they will Google it and they'll take a look at what's happening. And then you could get right into the 4-sentence spiel that, hey, we have the inside track to get you in before the buzzer. And they jump, and you should all be able to pick yourselves up some really easy money on this in the immediate future.
And Andrew, what does NEM stand for?
It stands for net metering, which again is the way the power company keeps track of how much power goes into the systems and how much power you draw out later. And there's always been somewhat of an adversarial relationship between solar and the electrical grid. I think there's a famous saying that says, old technologies die hard, right? They go out kicking and screaming all the way. So they've been, you know, they give me a lot of red tape. I mean, you guys should see what I deal with behind the scenes. Like they've been using stalling tactics for a while.
Yeah.
Now they've taken their big shot with this NEM 3.0. I'm going to have some workarounds in the future. Let's put that off to a later date. The Solar Savers program is going to continue to thrive, but this is hot. This is now. Let's just concentrate now on your immediate sphere of influence, because you'll have an unprecedented time to make these referrals happen and pick up some really easy and timely money for yourselves.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Andrew, because it's very, very apropos to what we were speaking about, because we are always looking for reasons to contact our sphere of influence and to stay top of mind. And this is a perfect reason to do that. Even if they don't, you know, end up going with the Solar Savers program, you know, this was another touch, right? This was another way that you are being relevant and being, you know, a service to your clients. So it's just a part of what we do, you know, but it's a very, very important tool to use to stay top of mind. So this is a really great program. A lot of our agents are taking advantage of it, Andrew. And Andrew's contact is on the screen, as you see. That is also the number that you'll use to do a 3-way text. But if you have questions, have a quick chat with Andrew, understand exactly how it works, and then you guys can create a nice little you know, strategy to contact your sphere of influence.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. So Andrew, thanks so much for being on the webinar. Appreciate it. And Bill, any quick takeaways from today's webinar in total? I know we went through kind of a lot of top level stuff, but any quick takeaways from you?
No, I just want to take this time to thank everybody in our organization that takes the time every Wednesday, and even those agents that couldn't be on there this week. We hope you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, whatever you choose to celebrate through this season, and of course a Happy New Year. And while we'll be offline here for the next couple of weeks, we really hope you guys take the time to refresh, reflect, and we'll be excited to start 2023 with a bang. We've got a lot of actually good things that we're going to be launching in January. So we'll save that for the beginning of the year. But we just appreciate all you guys, and we appreciate those of you that are also utilizing you know, Raquel at Legacy Escrow, you know, Clearview Mortgage, and keeping us all working together so we can all thrive in this business that we operate in.
Absolutely, Bill. Well, agents, thank you so much for joining us. We really hope you have a great holiday season. Like Bill said, we'll be generally closed next week. If there's something that you need, of course, reach out. But we hope you guys are able to take a little bit of time off with your family and do a little bit of reflection on why we do this business. So get out there, make it a productive rest of the week, and we will see you guys next year on the ARG Wednesday webinars. Have a great week.